Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right. I'm John Palacio.
And I'm Marlene Cuellar, and thank you for joining us this morning.
It's a beautiful Thursday morning. I nearly said it. I nearly said Wednesday, but it's a Thursday.
Yeah. You got to reprogram your mind just a bit for today.
Yes, indeed, but it's a beautiful Thursday morning out. The dew is dropping heavy, Mar.
Yeah.
It's a little foggy here in the city as well. Outside of my house, I noticed it's moist. Was it raining? No, the dew is falling, and it's falling very hard. Nonetheless,
well,
we're so happy that we have
I didn't
you.
hear it, so
Indeed,
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Just maybe. But it's always a nice time, especially if we've got you with us. So indeed, you wake up and you start your morning right with us. Beautiful Thursday morning. Mar, as per usual, we break down what the newscast would have showcased last night. And I think the biggest news out of that, Marlene, is the detection of the Omicron coronavirus in the U.S. I think that's a big thing. Why do I think that way? Because, look, it's there. More than likely it trickles from there to elsewhere. That's just the way it is. We know for a fact that it was detected first in South Africa, and then from there, different parts of the world. But at the same time, Marlene, there are different countries that are scrambling on what to do if they want to block flights coming from that particular part of the world to their country and whatnot. We know that here in Belize yesterday, here at home yesterday, there were words put out on it. It's not detected here, but we know for a fact that it's out there, and it will eventually trickle down. The U.S. detected a case. And so therefore it's going to be a heavy watch on that particular strain.
Well, we're on a watch here because yesterday, at the end of the day, we received a cabinet brief with some of the points as to decisions made within cabinet yesterday. And one of the things that I do note is that they have, following the discovery of Omicron, the Omicron variant, they are talking about updating public health regulations, and that update will take place next week. So I would hope that it's the COVID task force and other persons who are stakeholders at this point in time. I'm sure tourism has to be involved because we're heading in. Well, we've already started the peak of the season. And there are decisions to be made as to how we can adequately keep the population safe as this variant seems to be popping up in different parts of the world.
Indeed.
As we've said, since the start of this week, there's still a lot to learn and understand about this new variant, but it is classified by the WHO as a variant of concern.
So as long as and that's exactly one of the things that we continue to let you know, that for us, when it comes to getting information to share with you, we go to the direct sources. Yeah. And if the WHO is saying that, then of course that is definitely something we'll be looking forward to or looking out for. Yeah. All right. But you did mention, Marlene, something, a word there, tourism. Exactly where I wanted to go as well. Might not have been in the news, but at the same time, it is good news to know that tourism is actually on the rise again, with numbers looking somewhere around 2019 numbers. Now, this definitely is a good thing. And coming out of cabinet yesterday, they're saying that they're trying to hire some more manpower at the airport to try and so we're ready and set for when this big crowd, because we were expecting a lot of people to come into our country. But more so, Mar, they're coming to our country because this country is a beautiful one.
Yeah, and all the new flights that are coming in
all
as
the
well.
New flights.
You know, including some late ones. It's always strange to me when I see nighttime flights, because it's within our lifetime that we're seeing that happen.
Yeah.
But we do know, after many conversations with stakeholders in the sector, this is, I don't know if they have a full sigh of relief as yet to see the flow of tourists coming in. I know there's a lot of recovery. A lot of people have been indebted by the impact of the pandemic. Some people are trying to recover, to play catch up. But it does offer them a sense of hope and perhaps a light at the end of the tunnel.
Indeed.
And that's why decisions made now about how we will do our best to control the spread of COVID-19 and to be able to prevent any outbreak, especially with this new, more transmissible variant, is so critical. So
Indeed.
There's some real important decisions to be made, and of course we'll keep you updated as we move forward.
Indeed.
But I gotta say though, in the talk of COVID-19, we do have some positive news that the numbers, this particular wave seems to be declining. We haven't had any reported deaths for the past 2 days, and that's such positive news coming out of the Ministry of Health. This was a very, very tough wave.
It was.
We saw, I think, especially with Belize City being the epicenter, where it spread so rapidly and so many people were infected and affected.
Weeks after weeks here in the city, weeks after weeks after weeks, over 100 cases detected in Belize City alone, in the Belize district actually alone, with most of those being in Belize City, the economical hub of our country. And of course, that definitely raised some alarm. But at the same time, you're right, Marlene. Some good news there to note that we seem to be on the decline of this particular third wave. But that does not mean that we should be here, there, and everywhere. My thing, we always we say this many days, Marlene. Sometimes we come in here and we'd ask ourselves the question, what are we going to highlight this morning? And we'd say, you know what, we might want to stay away from coronavirus, but we're not able to, because that is actually the news. But remember, not because we're curfew has been pushed back a little, or we have a little break now, means that we'll be going out and hugging up and trying to mingle with each other that the way we used to in 2019. No, it shouldn't be that way. But there are the numbers right there on the screen: 86 new confirmed cases, new recoveries at 92. But under investigation, and that's that number is always a number that have me on the edge. 309 under investigation. So that's where we are. There are 9 persons admitted at the ICU and 16 active hospitalizations. Marlene, we saw that number at 40-something previously, right here within the third wave. It was a stressful time.
No doubt.
It was.
No doubt. But I do think, though, I think what you said is important. I think one of the things that the Ministry of Health keeps on saying, I think, across the globe, what is being reinforced as we head into the holidays is, don't think that it's over. And, there's not a day that we can't mention COVID-19 because, John, we are in a pandemic. We're actively living in a pandemic. It's only happened. This has only been a situation that we've seen a century ago. So it has completely uprooted our lives as we knew it before March 2020. And so it is going to be something that we have to keep on bringing the most accurate information to you and keep on offering the advisories. With that said, of course, do remember that there are still vaccines available. Booster shots are open to any person over 18. Go ahead and get your vaccination. Allow yourself to have better protection. In fact, this is the best time. And I'm not saying, because you're going to go out and do what you want, but as you head into shopping season, last minute shopping, lots of crowds in places where, you should avoid crowds, but you may not be able to avoid it entirely. This is the best time to ensure that when you head into that Christmas week, that you would have already had 2 weeks since your last booster. So please. But I want to quickly, because time goes so fast.
I know,
also
right?
say that Cabinet also spoke about, the brief from Cabinet also spoke about the reopening of schools. And once again, they're talking about schools applying for green light status to reopen in January. And so that is something I know a lot of people are looking forward to. And clearly, with the buzz around town with the video recording of a teacher snapping at her students and using language that I don't think any person can condone. Yeah. I don't think I've met a teacher who hasn't said, that was wrong, you shouldn't have said that. But I found it really interesting to see some of the commentary over the past few days as to what people have been saying. And for me, when I hear it, I absolutely disagree with the language that was used, and it can in so many ways. It's the kind of thing that we talk about, how they can have a very devastating impact on children, but I also hear frustration.
Yeah.
And it's on both sides. You talk to teachers, they're frustrated. You talk to parents, they're frustrated. You talk to students and they're frustrated. From the littlest ones to the older ones. Yeah. And this is such a difficult time where everybody's trying to navigate their own way. It's one of those stories that's come forward, and I genuinely have mixed emotions about it.
And I'm right there with you. I listened to you talk about it, and exactly your emotion is how I feel. Mixed emotion about it. Marlene, a lot of the times when things happen, we always say that what we're going to do, and this is not to correct any wrong, but what we do is that we are going to get counselors, or we're going to get people to talk to the students. But what do we do for what do we do for the teachers? They are humans as well. But at the same time, while they're adults, they're able to navigate how they're going to bring across certain things. I did hear the frustration, and I did hear the derogatories that were used within the statement she made. But at the same time, I think the Ministry of Education will be looking into this situation best way possible. But let's face the fact, everybody is frustrated. And you mentioned parents, Marlene. And I'm one of those who come in here in the morning time and I tell you, know what?
That's why I looked at you when I said frustrated parents, right?
It is a frustrating time. I spoke to one of my coworkers and he was like, John, you help your daughter with the math homework? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, we have to do it together. But I feel you rusty. And I'm like, yeah, we feel rusty, but I don't remember to get this. Yeah. Because there's so many things that teachers do for students that we as parents, we're not able to. They teach them, they show them, they're a big part of what these students are going to be. Like I'm saying here, like I said, I'm not correcting any wrong here. Yeah. I'm not correcting any wrong. I'm just saying that teachers need help as well.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I know the teachers issued an apology, and I'm sure this will continue to spark more debate within the public sphere. But I'll say this much: I've been on a few Zooms where everybody has their camera off, and you feel like you're talking to yourself. Yeah. And that can be a real frustrating situation. So yeah, I'm
there with you. I'm there with you. And for meetings and whatnot, I'm a part of the Rotary Club Sunrise, and when we do meetings, they want for you to have your cameras on. Yeah. But it's a thing when it comes to, like you mentioned, it's mixed feelings here.
But I want to be categorically clear. Saying that using that language towards children is unacceptable. And I do hope that that message is very clear. But it is a situation that, Yeah. All right, we got to get moving into our show, though. So we got some motivation to get us going, and that means it's time for our Eye Opener. And our Eye Opener for today, taken from dailyom.com, goes like this. Life becomes much more interesting once we let go of our quest for perfection and aspire for imperfection instead. It is good to remember that one of our goals in life is to not be perfect. We often lose track of this aspiration. When we make mistakes, we think that we're failing or not measuring up. But if life is about experimenting, experiencing, learning, then to be imperfect is a prerequisite. Life becomes much more interesting once we let go of our quest for perfection and aspire for imperfection instead. One way to nudge ourselves out of this tendency is to look at our lives and notice that no one is judging us to see whether or not we are perfect. Sometimes, perfectionism is a holdover from our childhood, an ideal we inherited from a demanding parent. We are adults now, And we can choose to let go of the need to perform for someone else's approval. Similarly, we can choose to experience the universe as a loving place where we are free to be imperfect. Once we realize this, we can begin to take ourselves less seriously and have more fun. Imperfection is inherent to being human.
It put me in back to parental status. Because as parents, one of the things that we do is that we try our utmost best to be perfect within the household for the children. And we tell our children what are the things that we would expect for them, or we show them that. And for them, it might just be perfect. But we never, ever tell them that it's okay to be imperfect. So, I'm hearing you read it, and I'm like, how do I do that?
Well, I love that you said that. I really love that you said that, because you know what it triggers in my mind? And it's very easy for me to say, I'll admit that. But then, if you don't teach your child that failure happens and that we can recover from it, then where will they learn it?
Great statement, Mark.
It's one of those things. I think it takes a lot of work to come to acceptance with this, and ongoing work. Yeah. But, there's so much pressure all around in so many ways. Pressure based on gender, pressure based on where you grew up, family name, so many different things, and just the general societal pressure. And are we teaching children, or are we allowing ourselves to recognize that life is imperfect? And that so many of the most important lessons we've learned have come from our mistakes and our failures.
Yeah.
Right here.
Join the club. Join the club.
Yep.
Join the club.
And that recovery process is one you just learn through experience. But I think you have to be okay to recognize that it is going to happen.
And
it's not, it's not easy. But we have to be okay with that. And like I said, I'm saying it. I try it. Not perfect at it. Really struggle with it. But we all do.
All do. There's a last part here, Mara, that says, and I'll put the paper up. It says, imperfection is inherent to being human. So,
all right.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on, it is that time of the morning. We take a look at the weather. We need to know what the weather is going to be like for today. And we've got the good folks on the line, or we'll find that out in just a few. But Francisca Willington
is going to tell
forecaster.
us.
She's going to tell us. Yeah. Where is she?
All right. So she's on the line. Better. Cool. We know that you didn't want to miss us, right, Francisca?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
We're doing great, Francisca. I'll tell you what, you're cool on the phone and you're cool driving as well. Cool.
I like that.
Yeah. Saw her the other day. But Francisca, the dew is heavy in the city at least. This fog is heavy. I could just imagine what's going on the highways there. Can you tell us, what should we expect for today? Let's start with the general situation. What should we expect?
Okay, we'll be seeing fair conditions today, very fair. We'll be seeing mostly sunny skies. We'll be seeing little rainfall. The fog that you're having, we had it slightly up here for a short while, and I'm seeing it mostly affecting the Western Highway, or the George Price Highway.
Cool.
But that will clear up very quickly as the sun comes up higher.
All right.
And then the 24-hour forecast?
Okay, so we'll be seeing mostly sunny skies today, isolated showers if any, and then tonight we'll see skies becoming cloudy, and we will have a slight increase in shower activity along the coast.
Oh my. Well, probably we get some good news with the temperatures. Is it going to be cool? Tell us the highs and lows.
Yes, relatively cool. 85 along the coast this afternoon, 89 inland, 75 up in the Maya Mountains. And then overnight, 74 along the coast, 70 inland, 63 up in the Maya Mountains.
Ooh, my goodness, 63 in the Maya Mountains. Get ready. And what about our extended forecast? What should we expect?
Okay, for Friday and Friday night, we'll continue to see some cloudy conditions, and we'll see a few light showers around the country.
Okay. Well, you told us. You told us. Francisca, anything else you'd like to share with us before you go?
Well, I would like to share that you guys should have a wonderful day.
You had me at the edge of my seat just now.
Keep up the excellent work.
Thank you, and you guys too. All right. Have a nice day, Francisca. Now we know exactly what to expect. What is she going to say? The way she started it out.
That's good storytelling, right?
Very. Nonetheless, we're so thankful to have had Francisca Wellington tell us exactly what to expect with the weather. It is that time of the morning we move on to let you know what we will be discussing this morning. And in our first segment for today, the Belize Bank reps from the Belize Bank Limited will be in with us, and they'll be sharing to us about their Christmas promotions and their latest addition to eCash app, Mark.
All right, and the second part of our show, we are still in the middle of commemorating the 16 days of activism. And we've spoken about the different activities that are being held, but one of the key messages that they're trying to drive home during this time is about gender-based violence. And we're going to be talking to a representative of one of these shelters for persons who attempt to make their way out of this situation to understand what's happening on the ground. So we'll have Dr. Charmaine Saunders from Haven House telling us all about that.
All right. And finally, for us this morning, this guy was highlighted in the news last night. I watched the clip, and he's been around for a while, doing his thing here, there, and everywhere. He's a success story. That much I could tell you. We're talking about this guy, Einar Marin, actually. He's a pastry chef. He owns Blue, and he'll be in to share with us some sweet treats for the holidays. I can't wait. Sweet tooth. Ooh, you got me out, though.
I was going to say, I think everybody knows. If it has sugar, I'm in, right? The sweeter, the better.
Indeed. So he'll be in this morning to talk to us about some sweet treats for the Christmas and what you could do and how you could make them, all right? But we need to take the break. Just before we do, though, we've got our birthday shout-out, and we'd like to say a happy birthday to Tyrell Rowley. Yo, T. Yeah, bro. Good morning, sir. Happy birthday to you from your family. Of course, from all of us right here at Channel 5 and all of us right here on Open Your Eyes. Do enjoy.
All right. Well, I'm going to pull a John this morning. I got some special birthday shout-outs. I have to actually pull a John because the producer's going to say, you didn't send the photo. Okay. I apologize, Shanice. But we did, I do want to say a very special happy birthday to my sister, Melissa Coyar, who is celebrating her birthday today, and my very good friend, Avril Bennett. Enjoy your day, and of course, it's nice weather to be able to really celebrate.
All right, so you pull a John, and you need to complete this. You gave 2 birthday requests. Give them the 2 words.
What words?
The 2 words. Yeah, tell her. What are the 2 words?
Happy birthday to you. And now you know why I don't sing on camera. We'll take a break and we'll come back, please.
Now you pull on John.
It's almost lunchtime and Alice is getting hungry and forgot to bring cash. She remembers that eCash now has a geolocation feature in which she can easily view the eCash merchants near her, especially restaurants. Her co-workers also ask her to order food for them.
Chicken chow mein, please, and a Coke.
The merchant sends her the payment link. She taps confirm, and within a few minutes, her food is delivered. Alice then views her transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made. Then taps the split the bill button where she selects the unevenly option and moves the bar to the desired amount per person. The request is then sent to her friends. Her colleagues accept the request and are ready to enjoy their meals. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash make Alice's life a whole lot easier.
We have been a partner with Smart for over 10 plus years. We have a full Smart plan we use as our major driver for our business. We have a service that rolls over in that if you call one and it is busy, it rolls over to the next line. So once you call us, you can get us at any time. Before we got this Smart service, we were paying upwards of nearly $2,000 in phone bills. Since we've had our Smart service, we pay an average of about $600. So we've had tremendous saving, more than 50%. For the businesses, if you want to save money, switch to Smart because it is far more cost effective and the service is excellent.
Smart continues to be innovative in bringing new technology and meaningful savings during these challenging times to businesses across Belize. Sign up for our VoIP technology or broadband packages and save more.
Vaccines protect you and they protect me. Getting vaccinated is one of the most important things you can do to keep yourself and your family safe and healthy. Once enough people are immunized, opportunities for an outbreak of disease becomes very low. And if we all choose to get vaccinated, we contribute in getting back to spending quality time with our loved ones in a safe way.
It's almost time when we change the drums for the Christmas bells. And you know that when Christmas season starts, we celebrate big at Channel 5. How big? It's our 30th anniversary. That's right, the Big 3-0. And this year's Gimme 5 will be packed with fun, entertainment, and big giveaways. The show starts on December 6th and runs through December 10th, starting at 7:30 p.m. nightly. Coupons are now available for 25 cents each on our Channel 5 website and at our studios on Coney Drive. Fill out your coupons and bring them into our compound. And remember, starting December 6th, when the phone rings, don't say hello, say, "Gimme 5."
Great Belize Productions Channel 5, proud winner of 5 Caribbean Media Awards for 2019 and 2020. Best Television News Item, Best Responsible Coverage of Children's Issues, Best Health Education Journalism, Best Television Commercial Spot, and the People's Choice Award, with special mention by the jury in the Best Television News Item category.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Welcome back. We're moving now into our first segment for the morning. It's going to be an exciting one as we've got a lovely lady sitting there. She'll be telling us all about the new thing. Huh? Yeah. But this segment is actually geared towards talking about Christmas promotions and latest addition to eCash from the Belize Bank. In with us to talk about it, Agatha Ruta. She's actually head digital of retail and business banking at the Belize Bank Limited. Good morning and welcome.
That's correct. Good morning. Good to be back. Good to be with you guys again.
And how are you today?
Very well. Yourself?
We're doing great. We could tell you that
right?
much.
I heard you guys singing. So congrats.
It's your turn next.
It's your turn next. So let's get right into it. It's the new thing, the new kid on the block. So I want to ask you the question, how is eCash going along?
Yes, you see right now we are the 4th month after the launch of eCash, and we already have almost 40,000 users. Wow. We processed 25,000 person-to-person transactions, over 10,000 QR code transactions where you go to the store and you make purchases, and we have almost 1,100 merchants and retail stores in our network. Wow. So it's quite impressive. We are extremely happy with the positive feedback from the market. And I would like to also take an opportunity to mention a very exciting program we are participating in, which is with the GSMA, which is a part of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They work with the emerging markets and with the financial service providers that bring the financial inclusion. eCash will be a part of their report for 2021 as the biggest achievement in Central America and the Caribbean for the financial inclusion and electronic money.
Fantastic news. Congratulations.
Congratulations, indeed.
Thank you very much. We are very excited about it. And actually, this collaboration is not only about sharing information and the statistics for eCash, but also they are bringing a lot of knowledge with data from the other jurisdictions. So we can then create a unique value proposition for the Belizeans. And this is something that we are working on, and the 2 big things are coming next year as well. So I'm sure I will be here to share it as well.
No, we got it more than that. But no, you know, I think it's interesting when if we reflect on when the launch was taking place. You know, a part of what the mission was to be able to get persons included within the financial system. Those who perhaps didn't know that they could already, and those who, for many different obstacles, couldn't. How are you doing in meeting that objective?
Yes. This is actually, that's why I mentioned the positive feedback from the market. As remember, eCash is for our customers, the Belize Bank customers, but also customers of the other financial institutions and completely unbanked, right? Like you've mentioned, for the different reasons, right? Not being not having a bank account. And 70% of eCash users are actually from this segment of being unbanked, which is great. And majority of them from the rural areas of the country. We work very hard with our team to make sure that in the rural areas, in the villages, people have an access to the retail stores where you can go and cash in your wallet and then transfer money right across the country, not worrying when it will arrive and if it will arrive, right? So that's really meeting the main objective of the eCash launch. And what it's also worth pointing out is that 25% of the entire customer base for eCash is below 20 years old. So young population really uses eCash heavily, which is again one of the main objectives for the unbanked population, right? Because eCash is for 14 plus. So young people cannot have the easy access to the banking system, to use the bank accounts, to use debit cards.
It is the in thing. One of the things I get from you though is a sense of gratitude. I could sense that from you. It seems that you guys are actually at the spot or had passed where you expected to be after the 4-month launch. Tell us about that. Are you guys at the expectation of where you expected to be actually with this eCash?
This is absolutely exceeded expectations, you know. As I think I was mentioning this last time when we met, that already the customer base we have right now is something that we planned for 3 years. So that's why we are so grateful, and we work with our customers very closely. We are actually asking them for the feedback, what else we can do, what else we can improve, because this is our system, right? We are using it. It's not something that we are just bringing to the country and we use it as is. This is something that we want for the Belizeans to be used on the daily basis. So it's their platform for making payments.
You also have interesting insight, I imagine, on how the money's being moved. Is it primarily person to person, or is it being used at stores?
Like I've mentioned, majority of the traffic is person to person. Is already like 25,000 transactions, and it started at the beginning with the small ticket size, with the small amounts, because people were trying, right? Whether it works. Like everybody needs to learn. It's very new, right? Brand new service on the market. But right now, we see that people are really moving money for the real business between themselves. Right? So the ticket size actually grew from the initial like around $10 right now to the high double digits.
Nice. And where do you see the most transaction being happening in terms of purchases and whatnot? Would it be at supermarkets? Would it be at gas stations? Where are you guys seeing this?
Definitely the supermarkets and restaurants. Restaurants actually are extremely active. And yes, exactly as well. I see that you are using it. I'm glad to see that. But restaurants actually are using it heavily as we have the feature that restaurant can share the payment link with the customer. So the payment is processed immediately when the order is being made. And then the food is just delivered. So customer can just sit in the office, sit at home, and do not touch any cash. Do not worry whether I have change or do not have change. Easy and convenient.
Now, you know, what has it been like getting merchants on board?
At the beginning, we worked extremely hard, like from the beginning of the year, to explain to everybody how it will work. And remember, we didn't have service on the market. So our team really spent a lot of hours with our merchants explaining and bringing this information to the table. But right now, it's opposite, that customers, merchants, they come to us as they would like to use eCash in their business. So we see right now also a lot of requests for online integrations, right? In Belize, we still don't have this market being big like in the other jurisdictions, but we see significantly more attractions. As I'm not sure if you know, we started to have the applications as well for the different restaurants. So we will be integrating eCash to these applications as well. We work with a lot of different websites right now that you will have the eCash as a payment method, so you are able to complete the transaction straight on the website or straight in the application.
If I'm a merchant and I'd like to apply or get eCash into my business, can I do that? How do I do that? And does it come at a cost to me?
No. It's completely free of charge. You just need to contact the closest branch. We have the team trained to onboard merchants. They walk you through the process, so it's not something that you can just go download the application and start to use it as a merchant, because we have a lot of security features, especially for working with merchants, right? To reduce fraud and make sure that we work with the legitimate businesses to protect our customers. So we need to sign the agreement, onboard merchant, and then you can start. We provide the entire training to the cashiers, to the employees, to make sure that everybody knows how that works.
And now you can also pay your bills?
Yes, that's actually the next feature, specifically exciting for the unbanked population, because you can pay your bills easily when you have the bank account, right? Through your mobile banking, through your online banking, easy in seconds, it's covered, right? You can save it in your favorites, so you don't need to remember your meter number, your customer number, right? The ID for your child when you pay the tuition. I always have a problem with that. But right now, we have integrated this also with eCash. So even if you don't have a bank account and you use eCash, you can go to the bill payment section and you can pay your bill immediately. Actually, the utility company will receive money immediately at the moment where you pay your bill. You don't need to stand in long lines worrying that you are in crowd, right? Especially in the situation that we are still in. And it's extremely convenient, right? We see that at the beginning also we had the little transactions for bill payments, but right now it grows significantly. So I hope that everybody will forget about the long lines and going with cash and exact change for your bill, but we'll just pay it through eCash because it's just convenient and you save a lot of time.
Indeed.
Do you get a receipt for the payment?
Well, your receipt is your transaction history in eCash, right? It doesn't disappear. Your transaction history is there forever.
Forever. That's an interesting part, because I think when you talk about especially the unbanked population and the younger population, it goes beyond just the flexibility and how easy it is to use. They're learning to track money.
Exactly. This is the management of your personal finance, right? This is the financial education that we hope to bring to the table as well, that you do not need to give you know, the little money to your child, you know, to go and buy something, right? Or buy school supplies or buy whatever they need, and then it's just gone. And you don't know what happened with that, right? Through eCash, you can cash in your child's wallet, and then everything is fully manageable, and you know how much you spend on water, on coffee, on school supplies, how much you spend at Brody's, at the other stores, right? So this personal finance management is an extremely important component that you really can track how you spend money. Cash just comes and goes, and you never know what happened.
That's exactly what I was. I'm like, how many times have I had cash in my purse and I said, where did it go?
Exactly,
and you
right?
cannot remember.
Indeed.
Not possible.
So during this discussion, I'm sure you've caught a few of the skeptics, and they would like to probably get the eCash. How can they get the eCash? What do they need to do to start?
Yes, for the individual users, it's extremely easy. You just go to the Google Store or to Apple Play, depending on which device you are using. Just download eCash application, the one with the green background, which is for the individual consumers. And when you don't have a bank account at the Belize Bank, you can register as a standard wallet user, and within seconds you can be onboarded, as you don't need to have any ID, you don't need to have any utility bill, any documentation, as this is one of the main reasons why people are not opening the bank accounts. So we wanted to reduce this limitation, right? Get rid of this point. And you answer just a couple of questions about your name, your birth date, your address. So we also know the districts, and we can actually see whether it's a rural area or the urban area, and you are in. You
just
can
like that.
Just like that.
So
you can try as well.
So you download the app, you get into it, you start.
Sounds like a demo about to happen, right?
You start at 0. There is no cash on there as you download. How do you put cash on
Actually, you do not start with 0,
You're kidding.
as we have the welcome bonuses for our customers. So you will start with $2 at the beginning. And then you have a couple of options, right? If you don't have a bank account, we have a network of the retail stores that you can go and cash in your wallet. You go with the physical cash, and the store transforms this physical cash into the electronic money. How you find this store? Also through the application. As together with the bill payment, we have launched the geolocation in the application. So you just click on locations, and you will see all of the stores in your neighborhood where you can go and cash in your wallet, cash out if you really need cash, or perform the QR code transactions and purchases.
I saw in the clip just now that you also use it for salaries as well. People have been using it for salaries.
Well, this is something that we will be launching this month. As again, it's quite a hassle for the employers to accommodate different procedures for the payroll, right? For the banked employees, for the unbanked, issuing checks, and they sit a long hours signing checks, right? So what we wanted to do is, again, to bring some convenience also to the employers and the businesses. So right now you can perform the same payroll and include unbanked employees into this payroll instead of the account number entering the phone number, which is the identifier for eCash, and your employee will be paid immediately.
Cool.
The minute you hit send, the
That's
employee will receive salary into the eCash, and then you can pay your bills, you can cash out if you need, you can go to the merchant to make the purchases.
Yeah,
What
transfer the allowances to the children out of the salary.
Pay for the tuition, for the electricity, for water services.
For your
So
internet
when
services.
school reopens, which we're hoping is going to be very soon, have you approached schools for like their cafeterias and whatnot, if the children would be able to use it there?
Yes, we are working with schools as we speak. Actually, our first target is actually to work with the tuitions, right? Because this is the main pain point for the schools, especially right now in the pandemic, where you don't want parents to come and line up and pay with cash, or you don't want them to go to the bank because you're creating the same lines, right? So we work with the schools to include them into our bill payment, so parents can just go and pay all of the tuitions from the eCash level.
And what about international transactions? I'm getting on that plane, I'm heading over to probably to Panama or to the US. How is it, am I able to use it there?
No. At this point, eCash is a local Belizean service, so the remittances and the international payments are not on the table as yet. This is something, remember, that we work with the central bank as we have the USD restrictions in the country as well, so the remittances are not as yet on the table for eCash.
But if I'm out there and I need to do my transaction, my home transactions while I'm out there, I'm able to do that.
Absolutely, right? If you are traveling and you have money in your eCash, you can absolutely cover all of your bills. You can pay person to person as well. If somebody asks you, I urgently need something, or your child messaged you that, you know, Dad, come on, I need some more. You can absolutely
leave me money,
do
Dad.
that. So you just need to make sure that you have your wallet cashed in, right? Or if you have a bank account, you can cash in your wallet also using the online and mobile banking.
Via the eCash app, am I able to see my my account status, like in the bank? Like, for instance, okay, I go into my eCash and I need to check what's going on with my banking. Do I need to get an additional Belize Bank app to see my transaction there, or only?
Yes, these are two separate, right? So you have the mobile and online banking for the Belize Bank, and over there you manage all of your accounts, credit card statements, etc. And then you have separately an eCash platform, where is your wallet for making the purchases, for paying bills, and collaborating with the wide portfolio of merchants.
Am I able to pay a credit card debt with eCash?
No.
Money?
No.
Oh.
So it's, you know, I think the idea of...
But you are going into the very good direction.
Yeah. it's to be able to do any transaction eventually. I guess that's the goal that you're working towards.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. We collaborate with a lot of merchants, as we would like to make sure that really it's something that you can use this platform for your daily purchases, right? So if I go in the morning and I would like to have fruits for breakfast, I go to my local vendor and I can buy fruits from the lady and pay with eCash, which actually we can do on the Connet Drive.
Yeah.
As well.
Okay. And some of the coconut water stalls, I hope.
Yes.
I haven't tested that one yet. But what happens, you know, I may accidentally drop my phone and my cup of coffee, you know, and I lose the phone or the capacity to use the phone. What happens then? Do I lose all my money in eCash?
Absolutely not. When you buy the new phone, then you install the application using the same credentials as you were using before, and your balance will be there. Remember that eCash is secured. Right? It's not something that it's an open application that when you lose your phone, then anybody can just get in, right? If you don't have your phone secured with biometrics or PIN number. eCash is additionally secured as well. So your funds are safe. Just one caveat, I would like to make it very clear for everybody. Please do not share your credentials with anybody, even if it's your friend, your family. This is your wallet, right? It's not something that you give your wallet to everybody. So we need to treat this in the same way. So
there's no need to call an emergency hotline and say, please cancel my account, you know, you just install it in a new phone and you'll be with your credentials and you're able to access everything.
That's correct.
All right. Well, it seems that it seems that the new kid on the block. It's a new thing, and of course, I'm glad that you actually told us about the younger ones that are coming up are actually into this. Is there anything you'd like to share with those folks that they might not know about eCash that is interesting as well?
Well, for eCash right now, actually we made this a lot of fun for December, which I think might be very interesting for especially a young line population. Yes, and actually we have a lot, you know, because I think that December is a month that, you know, you want to spread some joy and happiness. It's I think the best time in the year. So we designed a lot of fun activities related with our banking operations and with eCash. So one, we have an ongoing campaign for eCash payments. So when you scan and pay at the merchant's locations, or when you cash in your wallet at the store, or when you pay your bill, and you make minimum of $200 accumulated for the month. For each of this transaction, you can then get $50 back to your wallet in the month of December. So when you do all of it, you can get in December $150 back using eCash. Just doing your regular transactions, nothing else. More than that, we have our little elves across the country. Actually, we started this yesterday. Our team goes out. We announce in the morning the locations we will be at, and we are covering partially or in full, depending on the bill, customers' purchases. So we go to the different locations, and yes, this is exactly what was happening yesterday. And for 100 customers, every single week, we are covering $25 of their purchases, which goes to their eCash wallet. And this will be an ongoing initiative for the entire month of December.
So how do you choose them?
Just randomly. You see our little elves across the country. They go and just randomly they choose the customers and they cover their bills.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Sweet. That's a happy elf to have around.
Exactly, right? Tomorrow we actually start the next exciting initiative, which is the pop-up shops at our locations, at our branches across the country. Again, it's not just for the city, it's across the country, whereby we invite our merchants, our eCash merchants, as we want to promote their services as well. We invite them, they bring their products, and it's the variety of them, right? The groceries, food, drinks, clothing, accessories. They provide a discount for the customers, and we cover 50% of the purchase as well. We started tomorrow, and it will be an ongoing initiative for December as well, every Friday. So I encourage everybody to visit our locations starting tomorrow at our branches to have some fun, to explore what our merchants have to offer, and to use eCash.
I'm just trying to make sure I heard you right. It's a discounted price from the merchant themselves, and you pay
50% of the purchase.
So I get an additional half off the item that I'm buying when I go to the pop-up shop if I use eCash.
That's correct.
Well, there you go. Christmas shopping.
Yes, it is.
That
yes,
is a
it
great
is.
offer. I mean, you know, I know you've been living here long enough, Agatha, that you know that Belize, we love free things.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody loves it.
Everybody
But you have to say it right, right?
Yes, and you know, we really want to make it fun and joyful. I think we've been through a lot during the last 2 years. And you know, I think everybody deserves some joy, some happiness, and we want to help with that.
All right. Well, Agatha Ruta, my goodness, you came here bearing gifts.
Where's your Santa hat?
Exactly right. I didn't have my hat.
But we're so thankful that you were able to join us this morning to share with us the good news of the new kid on the block, the new thing that everybody is actually flocking to. And we'd like to wish you a very good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be here. And I hope to see you soon, guys. Merry Christmas, right?
Merry
it's December. Thank
right.
you. Have a good day.
You too. You too. All right, so we're about to take a break. And when we come back, of course, we'll have a rep in from Haven House. They'll be talking about the work that they do and how they provide shelter for those who need a way out. So we'll talk about that.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
Jingle all the way! This holidays, get one coupon for every purchase of 25 Belize dollars in Una fuels, per quart of Una lubricants, or 2 coupons per gallon. Jingle all the way with Uno, a brand committed with the future.
Bringing people together has always been SMART's mission and passion. That is why we are proud to have built a locally independent quality network from the ground up that spans the country with over 100 sites. We continue to add more affordable mobile data packages, broadband speeds, and voice services to meet your personal and business needs. SMART has set the standard of true competition with the most competitive prices on all services offered. We invite and welcome you to join the SMART family, where the value for your dollar matters. SMART will continue bringing new technologies, more affordable prices, network expansions, and people together. SMART, bringing people together.
I am Glenda Brown, and I lost my husband, Henry Brown Sr., to COVID. He was a pastor, and he loved the Lord. He got saved at age 16, and he did his best to walk with the Lord. When he was admitted, I said, well, it's good. He needed oxygen, and that is going to move up, and then, you know, he's going to be back. But it didn't happen that way. Eventually, he got intubated and sedated, and that was the part when we realized, you know, it is getting real worse. We don't know what is happening. We prayed with him, we spoke encouraging words, but we weren't getting a response. We hope he heard, but I don't know. I eventually reached hospital unplanned. I spent an overnight in there Monday. That night, because I was tested positive, the doctor allowed me to go and see Henry. And so it was so good to be able to go to his ward. I get to rub his head. But he was saying he didn't think Henry was going to make it. There were much prayers going out on his behalf. But I knew God's will was what was going to be done. I think for me that did a lot. Even now, to could remember that I was able to, touch him and see him those last moments, just the day before he passed. I just thank God for that opportunity. COVID is terrible once it comes to your home. It's something else because you have to quarantine. It's painful. All of a sudden, the connection within the family break down. When Henry passed, the children came and they came to my room. I have windows on both sides of the house, and so that was how we communicated. We spoke from there. Even the funeral arrangement and all these things had to be done. And I went out there to see the vehicle pass. I didn't know they would stop, but I'm glad they did. And so I made my way to the street side. I had COVID, so I knew I had to keep a certain distance from other people. To look at that casket in that vehicle and know that Henry is in there. I watched online. It was so hard. I mean, this is Henry. He's gone. He's not going to be back again. Henry hadn't been vaccinated. He didn't want to be vaccinated. I was told that he said to someone in the hospital while he was there that if he gets out or when he gets out, he was going to get vaccinated. I know it's not the only prevention. Washing your hands, doing the other thing, taking your meds does help. So there's a number of things to do, and I encourage people to do all of them. God does protect us, but we are also not to put God to the test. And so I encourage people to do what needs to be done. There's a lot of things I missed him, just not having him coming home again. It's a journey ahead that I am trusting God to take me through. I know He will.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We're moving now into our second segment for today, and this one will be a conversation with none other than Dr. Charmaine Saunders. She is representing Haven House. She's actually the president of Haven House. Dr. Saunders, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for always inviting me.
Oh, it's always
in
nice
various
to have
capacities.
You.
Yeah.
Indeed. But the conversation when it comes to Haven House, definitely one that must be had. Yes. In terms of trying to garner additional help, because it is for a way out, and that's exactly where I'd like to start. Yes. Upon extraing the last segment, I did mention for those who need a way out.
Yes.
When we say that, what do we mean from Haven House?
And we usually focus on when you're ready to come out, because, from our standpoint, women are, nobody wants to be in a domestic violence situation, but persons have not truly appreciated the way out. And it's usually based on many factors. Economic factors is at the top of that list. You're in a situation where you're wholly dependent on the spouse that is creating the issues. So you need to stay there. And then you have families on the outside, but they're the ones who keep telling you, why are you coming out? This is only temporary, go back. And so they don't want to get out because they don't know where to go. And then there's also the situation if they have children, breaking that bond between, if the abuse has not extended to the child or the children, they still feel, oh, I can handle it, I can tough it out, he's good to the children, things are working out. And then you also have support, external support. When you leave the house with your children, who do you go to? So they're not really prepared mentally to leave. And at Haven House, we understand that. And even when they come to stay with us, we understand that they have the right to go back as well. So we try to provide a holistic support, a continuum of support, because it's psychological, it's physical. Most times we have to deal with the legal aspects as well. So we have to provide these what we call wraparound services that allows them to, every step of the way they're being attended to. You know, first we sit down with them, we do some basic counseling, and then if it has to be extended, we do a referral, and then we move on to health. We have to take them to the hospital to get a complete check. What you see on the outside may be the physical scars or wounds or bruises, but there's also that aspect, the psychosocial aspect, the psychological aspect that has to be addressed as well. And then along with that comes, especially if they have children or if they want to file for separation, sometimes the women are, they have immigration status too. And so our services try to provide for all of those aspects. Not by ourselves, though. We have, it's a multi-stakeholder approach.
I'm glad you said that, because I did want to dive a bit into helping us to understand how Haven House works.
Yes.
Because is it that any person can show up at your doors? Is it through a recommendation by a particular agency? How does it work?
Okay, so one of the complaints we keep getting, and because of social media, a lot of persons think they can just hit us up on our social media page or on our personal pages because they know the work we do through the advocacy work. But unfortunately, we are not at that point where you can just show up at our doorsteps. And for two reasons. One, we use a referral process, and I'll explain how that works and why that is the most valuable process in this entire scenario. And two, for safety of the other women that we host at the homes, we cannot make our location public. If you could imagine if we advertise and say where you can come to Haven House, there's no safety net for the women. We won't have clients.
Yeah, the abuser might come.
They come right there, you know. So they are not allowed to share, and then we have a system where we take them to the shelter.
Okay.
So that's the reason. In terms of the referral process, there's two ways. You can contact the Human Development Women's Department. However, they only operate, as you know, well, it used to be 8 to 5, but now 8 to 4. So that system works. And then we have a 0800 number that you can call, and then somebody will come to you and get you out. But remember, if you're in an abusive situation, you can't call. Who will you call? So I have to explain to you how to do that as well. The other option is to report to the police. And we find that because there's ongoing changes in the police department, we constantly have to prepare the new persons who are handling domestic violence, because we have a separate handling of that. And then all the police officers don't know how to handle domestic violence. It's a separate cat. So that's the process. Those are the three ways that you can get in. Now, the referral process works best for us because, as I indicated, we're a multi-stakeholder entity. And there's no way we can do that total wraparound solution as just Haven House. So we need the government part. When we do the referral, it comes with a social worker and that person, that caseworker, has your case throughout the duration of your stay with us, and then trying to get you into a place where you're comfortable in terms of getting a job and weaning out of the situation. And I'm strategic with the word weaning because it requires that. Now, in terms of the 0800 number, we often require, when we say a way out, we say find somebody that you trust, that you can talk to, and you develop a plan to come out. Because it's not easy. The abuser just don't, you know, there's a lot of control mechanism in place, and he just doesn't go off to work and then when you come back, you're out of the house, you know. So you have to develop a strategy. So you have to find somebody who you trust. Oftentimes, that person is not a family member, because a family member are also the ones who will tell you to stay in the situation. So, but
or
you have
give up on you.
Yeah. So you and blame you. You are the reason, and if you do this differently, then it will work out. So you really have to sit down and figure out who is that person that you'll talk to, and then work. We are also available if you can reach out to us, because again, we don't make any assumptions that you have access to a telephone and you can jump on the internet and talk to us. Yeah. But we do provide that service where we help you with an exit plan and how to get out of your situation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dr. Saunders, so we're in tough times. We're in a pandemic, and there are a lot of things going on, and there are a lot of things that are being covered. Are we seeing a heightened traffic to Haven?
Yes, there's been an increase, and I think because, and I look at my own personal situation, previously we were all going to work, and that's like 8, some of us 4, 10, 14, and then you're not, but because of COVID times, you were forced to be in the same house, everybody. And I'm everybody, I'm only 3 bodies, but on other households, you'll have all the children at home, mom trying to do call center work or whatever, dad has to be home too because of COVID. And so it puts a strain on relationships. So yeah, we did see heightened numbers. One of the things though, a few weeks ago, we've worked with the Ministry of Health and the National Women's Commission to ensure that we meet COVID protocols too, because we're a shelter, and we have to provide services. And remember, people coming into the shelter are not family members too. So they're kids, they want to interact. You have mothers, and there's similarities in terms of the situation they're going through. So people want to interact. So we also had to monitor that and how we handle it at the house. So the shelter still had to be operating with safety protocols as well. And we get checked for those.
Yeah. Now, I'm so glad you pointed out how this particular time can be stressful. And even if you add on layers of things like unemployment, or if, with Christmas and all the financial obligations that come around that time. My question is, though, we often are so judgmental. And when you spoke about even interacting with different services, about persons who are in a situation of gender-based violence. And we don't understand how hard it is to leave. A part of that, I think, is understanding what all you offer. Because if I run out of my house right now at midnight and, I am able to take my kids with me, I don't have a truck that I'm packing up and getting everything and, close off that life and move on to another.
For us, that's all you need, and that's why we engage in the multi-stakeholder relationships, because when you come to us, just come as you. We understand, and we know that you even if you have an exit strategy, you can plan what can you bring. If your exit strategy says 3 a.m. is the time he's sound asleep and you can wake up the kids and come. At Haven House, through fundraising, grant proposal writing, we have really honed in on these extra needs. So at Haven House, we have opportunities for women to do development, they can develop themselves for so that they could become more economically stable. So we have like a sewing center. They could learn to sew, cooking.
Wow.
They could do art. And then what we did, we also understood that you're not at the point of your life where you feel beautiful. And so we built in a little boutique. So it has all the look of a boutique, except you don't pay cash. There's a cashier there, but because we still want you to feel independent, that's very crucial. So you go through, you pick your clothing, because remember you came without much. There's everything there, just like a boutique. Well, Marlene would know how the boutique. And then when you get to the cashier, you don't pay cash, but you check out.
Wow.
That's a psychological component, because women, we want to feel like we're doing something for ourselves.
And it feels less like a handout.
Yes, and then you get your stuff, and those are yours. And we get donations, including suitcases. I tell you, sometimes when the ladies leave, they're like, these are mine, I could actually keep them. And then within that, we do the, get your nails and hair done. That part of it, as a woman, you will understand. If you could be having the worst day and you get your hair done, it makes a difference, you know? So we do that as well. And we also teach them how to do that, because it's part of self-care, you know? You may not be into, manicure, pedicure, or getting your nails polished, but it makes a difference in how you feel. And so we have that component too, and our house mothers have specific training to do that. And that's part of the counseling approach, because when you go to the hairdresser, women tend to communicate with each other. I guess the same you do at the barber shop. It's a part of the information sharing, awareness raising, and it's also like a part of reflection and self-search as well. So we have that component as well. And I know when I'm talking, it sounds like we have a big shelter, right? But
I'm actually envisioning this boutique.
We do have the space. We created that space, but there's so much more that we on the board would like to do in terms of the shelter. You know, so we're in our strategic plan. We're aiming to get a comprehensive shelter that has more focus and can hold more families.
Dr. Saunders, what's it? Let's talk about the realities here, and I hope that we get through the rest of the year without the type of stories that we see around now, where people don't get out in time. What is it like for you when you know you manage the shelter, and how difficult it is for people to leave this situation? When you hear stories of women being killed by their partners, children being killed by their mothers' partners. I mean, you've seen it firsthand.
Heard and seen it, and I've been doing this work for about 15 years, and it's always devastating. In fact, we started out where we wanted to do press release as soon as we heard, and I was like, that's not working. The candlelight vigils and stuff. But you know what? One of the most troubling things for me that I experience is when they come to us, and you can stay at the shelter 21 days before we move you to a transition home where you're on your own trying to reestablish yourself. When before the 21 days and they tell us, I'm going back to him, that crushes my heart. Well, I can't let them know that, but you know, that's when I get fearful, because I know they've left on good grounds, and for some reason, because we try to limit the communication with the abuser as well, for some reason they decide they start to feel forgiving, and they go back into the situation, and with children as well, and you know, so it gets worrisome. And yes, you do seep off into the worry that this may end up in, especially when we know the story. You're fearful that it will end up in. And you know, one of the things that we can do is to work on strengthening our laws, because they can go back, they can drop charges. There's, you know, the state doesn't have to prosecute. So there's a lot of strengthening of our laws and enforcement of those laws that has to be done as well.
What do you think with all these years of working with this particular issue, what do you think or wish society would understand about gender-based violence and these families?
I wish people would understand that it can happen to anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so sorry to say that the reason why we don't get a lot of reports, why people don't come, they're ashamed of their status. And if you hold a certain status in society and you're experiencing it, you don't want to talk. Yesterday, we spent some time working with Shanice trying to get survivors to come and share their stories. And one of the young ladies that I approached, she was willing, she wanted to come. She told me, you know, I want people to hear my story. But she told me right away, Miss, I had to buy $1 internet to even be calling you to send you this message. So they have their situations. She is a survivor. She's out of the situation. And even then, and so when we judge, to me, you end up double victimizing the victims.
And you make other victims fearful of coming out.
Coming out. They don't have the willingness to do it and share. And I remember working with a survivor and doing her story. She did her story. And I say our story because we are working with her.
Right there
we went with her to U.S. Embassy. They were launching pepper sauce for domestic violence for the shelter to raise funds. And on our way to Belmopan, when we took her, she told me after enduring all the years of domestic violence, and she was going to share, but she was telling us she found out she had cancer. Oh, wow. She was diagnosed with cancer. How traumatic, you know. Yeah. You've endured 20-something years of abuse. Out of the situation, so happy she was like in her 3rd year of being alone and diagnosed with cancer. Wow. It's like double whammy. Yeah, and when I spoke to a friend of mine, a colleague, she said, she's in the health sector, she said, Doc, that's nothing strange. She said, sometimes we just haven't found the link, but it could be linked to the abuse as well.
Wow. Wow.
So, you know, well, and we sit and we judge and we say, how come she doesn't get out of that? She has children. We make all these assumptions, but it goes far beyond that. And I find myself too, when they want to return to the situation, I too ask, but why would she want to go back? Yeah. But it's a very thin line. You slip right into criticizing and becoming a judge. Judgmental on the issue. Yeah. You know,
and
so
they've
there's
been
a
told time and time, it's a cycle.
Yeah.
People leave and go back multiple times before it's final. Wow. And the severity of abuse that we in in Belize, do you think we don't understand how bad it is in somebody's household?
We don't. I just a few weeks ago, I was talking to somebody and I said, what happened to the situation where the young man went home left his job and went home and killed the lady and the daughter? And I said, did he ever get charged? My aunt looked at me and said, no, he killed himself too. So those are the magnitudes that you're dealing with. Like they get to a peak where they don't only think about the abuse. And in that situation, I think the family of the young man was saying that he was quiet. They never heard anything about abuse. But you don't hear about it because some persons are in those situations, but they don't share. Your family members could be enduring. You know, I remember sharing with a young man that somebody he knew well was going through abuse, and he said, never. That would have never happened. I know her. I know she's outspoken. And she would have told one of us. And I said, no, she's going through it. Yeah. But they don't have the impetus to tell family members because they're going to be judged or they're not going to get support. And you could be an outspoken, outgoing person, but you could still be going through that in your life, you know. So.
And then, you know, it's a tough situation. It's a tough thing to talk about, but at the same time, the conversation needs to be had.
It needs to be had.
Yeah.
So when it comes to them leaving after the 21 days, where do they go, and how do you get them back into society?
Okay, when the 21 days is up, we don't leave you just like that, and that's why I said the referral process works. you need groceries, you need stuff, and those are not, Haven House cannot provide that when you're out of the shelter. We, for the most part, we had transition homes, and you could be placed there. In that situation, we tried to cover the light and the water, the bills, and you would have a space for yourself, but then the women would have to already be able to generate income to survive. And then the caseworker would furnish you with the basic necessities. You know, you need to wash your hair, shampoo, you know, everything that you need until you're on your feet to. And I'll tell you, they're not able to get luxurious jobs either, you know. So they will secure a job, most times minimum wage too, and then they get back into it. And then during the 21 days, we ensure that the children were getting their assignments and stuff from school. We go pick them up and get it, because we don't send them out either. And then, but then when they go to the transition homes, we kind of want them to start to live life on their own, but that's a challenge as well. Because remember, they were in a family relationship, in a relationship and in a familial relationship. So they now are adjusting to getting a job. Some women, they have never worked either. So it's that whole orientation to life on their own.
So as we go through, and this is why, you know, I think having conversations like this in 16 Days of Activism helps us to bring it all home. As we see these situations and we want to speak out and get agitated about it, what can we really do as the wider society?
First, I would say, be careful of what we say when we're trying to advocate. Because advocating doesn't mean criticizing and judging. And sometimes in our advocacy work, and I'm saying from what because people will tag Haven House or they'll tag me, right in the very statement that they're irate and they want to make an issue, they start to be judgmental. And then almost 100% of the time, we don't have the whole story. I'm not saying that, but we do not know the story from the other side. And remember, even the abuser has family. And the family is a mother. The mother probably has abuse. And then how do we get this story from anybody if we're judging when we're trying to so-called defend what has happened to the other person? So that's the first thing I would like to see change. And that's a paradigm shift, because we don't do that. We're angry about what has happened. And I'll tell you, Belizeans on social media, they are the experts in everything. So they're the judge, the jury, everything. And
it was good to my mind.
and that is gospel. So once it's plastered on the internet, that's it. And then these persons are exposed to that information too. You know, and I'll tell you, even watching the news at night, I see strong opposing views of everything. And then you have to remember, when these women come to the shelter, they're not turned off from the world. They're reading, and then it's doing further damage, more than we know, because a lot of persons are wholly dependent on what other people think. There's only a few of us who don't really give a damn about what anybody else is say or think, but there are other people, and so that makes it harder. And we do the blame game. So that's what I would like to see change. It's gonna take a long time, but it will make a huge difference in the way we get behind that keyboard and just type anything. And no concern about how it's gonna hit when it hits real on the other end.
So we know time is dwindling by, but at the same time, I'm sure that there are always some kind of assistance that that Haven House would need. What kind of assistance that you need on a constant basis?
On a constant basis, and one of the things I learned when I was preparing for the show, we used to get a subvention from the government, and for some reason it stopped. So we have to deal with that, because that helps with our operational. And please remember, and whenever I come on this show, I will say the truth. The type of services we offer is not offered by government. It's NGO. We're one of the longest standing organizations that provide this type of service. And if Haven House is no longer there, the government who will take on this role, you know?
Yeah.
So there has to be some type of relationship. For some reason, I don't understand why they discontinued. And even though we were told because they thought our shelter was closed, I'm thinking there's a better way to do that. You could have called and checked. And even if the shelter is closed, you have upkeep, maintenance and stuff. For us, we ask all the time, if you're changing your wardrobe, your male and female, because remember, children come to us as well, and they're growing children. You can always reach out to us. We have a page, and I will leave the number as well, and you can do donations. Those are the things we put in the boutique, and women are happy to receive those. If you're changing your curtains, your bed sheet, and those pots, pans, and you need somebody to donate it to, we want those.
Okay.
And then on an ongoing basis, you can always do toiletries, because women need toiletries all the time. And I don't have to go through that list of what toiletries are. We do a toiletry drive every year. And then there are some little fundraisers that you can do all through the year, like our Denim Day. You wear jeans and then you donate money, and we give out our bank account. It's on our webpage, on our Facebook page, and you can donate all the time. You know, we don't have to have an actual fundraiser for you to donate to us. And now with eCash, yes, because we bank with Belize Bank.
you can send it now via eCash as well. There we go, keeping it going. But I do, and I mean, I think it's concerning when you think of the support that is needed for these women and what you have to provide. So I do hope that people are very generous in considering where they give their donation. You know, Haven House is where people run, not just to escape abuse, but sometimes to be able to stay alive. Them and their children. And so you've been doing it, the institution has been doing it for a very long time. And so we hope that today people will be aware and donate and ensure that they do their part in trying to end gender-based violence.
And as we're moving into Christmas, it's the best time of the year for me. But I'll tell you, it's not a good time for many. This is a time we see a hike because there's drinking, there's socializing, and the abuse spirals. So please remember, you know, and even the children will leave their homes without their Christmas gifts and stuff. So if you have any donation, we welcome them, and we have them on a standby for when they come to the shelter.
All right. Well, Dr. Saunders, we appreciate you coming in and painting the pictures to what's happening there at Haven House. It is a shelter for persons who are escaping gender-based violence, and you can get more information from their Facebook page, including their bank account where you can make a donation.
Indeed.
Right? Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Saunders, for coming in with us this morning. We're about to take a break. Dr. Saunders, you know about this place, Blue?
No.
You don't know about the business, Blue?
No.
You might want to stick around because the owner is in with us. He'll be telling us all about some Christmas sweets for the Christmas that you're able to make right here in your household. Or you could order from him. We'll tell you about that when we come back.
Working off-site doesn't mean you have to be off your game. Studies have shown that simply adding a keyboard and mouse to your laptop increases productivity by 26%. Add a monitor and you'll be 35% more productive. At Fulltech Systems, we have what you need to enhance your remote work or e-learning experience. With devices such as headsets, video conferencing monitors, webcams, keyboards, mice, docking stations, all with the brands you trust. Keep connected with collaboration tools like Microsoft 365 Suite and Kaspersky and perform efficiently no matter where you are. Fulltech Systems, your technology center. where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
When something is good and you can save, that makes it even better. Like this guy, he buys Flex bundles using his promo credit. No worries when his primary credit is finished. He gets talk, text, and data for free. Or her, she calls her family internationally with her promo credit. And with data packages so affordable, she even does video calls. Smart continues to offer great deals and affordable promotions. As a small business owner, she saves when she uses her promo credit to call the other guys. All Smart customers enjoy more triple days and knowing they can use their promo credit, which just lasts longer. Smart, bringing people together.
If you are ailing due to a chronic disease and are left permanently invalid before retirement age, you may want to check if you qualify to receive invalidity benefit. The invalidity benefit exists for persons who are unable to continue working due to permanent illness. To qualify, you must be under 60 years old, must be sick for 26 consecutive weeks and certified to be medically unable to perform any type of work, must have at least 5 years of paid SSB contributions and at least 5 paid within the 3 months leading up to your illness. If you do not qualify for the invalidity pension, you may be eligible for the invalidity grant. Want to know more about invalidity benefit? Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Morning, B.
Ready for full layback?
Yes, man. Just grab the rope and I will put on the camera. My name is Josh Marin. I'm a commercial fisherman out of San Pedro and I've been fishing my whole life. We've been noticing that each and every time we go out, we have to find further grounds. So when I heard about the program, I found it as a very good business opportunity. Other fishermen, when they go out, they tend to bring in everything and anything, and that's what me and my crew don't do. We practice responsible fishing.
Just show me how the app works, G.
Easy thing, bro. All we gotta do is we're gonna put in how much fish we catch right here. So there we get 15 pounds of champagne and 30 pounds of queens. We punch that in and that's all. Oh, one more thing.
It's almost time when we change the drums for the Christmas bells. And you know that when Christmas season starts, we celebrate big at Channel 5. How big? It's our 30th anniversary. That's right, the Big 3-0. And this year's Gimme 5 will be packed with fun, entertainment, and big giveaways. The show starts on December 6th and runs through December 10th, starting at 7:30 p.m. nightly. Coupons are now available for 25 cents each on our Channel 5 website and at our studios on Coney Drive. Fill out your coupons and bring them into our compound. And remember, starting December 6th, when the phone rings, don't say hello, say Gimme 5.
And we're back.
Just like that. Welcome to our third segment. Now, this one is all about, you know what happens when we're behind this table, right? Something good is about to happen. That guy is Einar Marin. He is the owner of Blue. What is Blue? Well, they make the best pastries ever, ever, ever. As a matter of fact, last night he was in the news. He won something again. Einar, good morning and welcome.
Morning, John. Morning, Marlene.
And how are you?
Good, good. Everything's going good.
Tell us about last night. I mean, you win something. What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we took part in the innovation challenge from the Belize Tourism Board. I think they had some applicants. They had a screening, and then the top 5 applicants continued on to the second round.
Yeah.
And well, luckily we went ahead and we won the whole thing. So
yeah.
So what was your innovative idea?
Well, the business itself, we tried to show how culinary can be part of the tourism sector, you know?
Okay.
Nowadays, everything is social media. So people visit places just to reach a culinary destination, whether it be a restaurant or a cafe, to meet a chef. Now, like me, for example, 2 months ago, I traveled to Miami. While I was there, I met up with Antonio Bashur, which is one of the best. He won Best Pastry Chef in 2017, no?
Wow.
So, of the world, so it's amazing stuff. Yeah, then you go in there and it's crowded. No, it's always crowded. So that just.
So that was your idea.
Yeah, it's something because they have something called the best restaurants and cafes in Latin America, the 50 best. So every year they released a set of 50 destinations to meet. No? So my goal is maybe in 2-3 years, maybe Belize lands a spot on that.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's the main idea that I have.
And as we see in the images there, you're showcasing, you've won Pastry Chef of the Year. You've studied to create these amazing pastries. And that's kind of your niche. You do these gourmet, you know, like really fancy style desserts and pastries.
We try to take everything and just level it up a little bit now. We try to, once you have the basic techniques, you could work from there and you could change up stuff. They have local ingredients that we try to use, like the cocoa butter, the chocolates, all of that. For November, actually, we're trying to take out a dessert, but we had a little setback. But our main idea was like a coconut and basil mousse with a plantain puree in the middle.
Oh.
And a plantain sponge cake, so something like a hudut, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Hudut dessert, you just made everybody in Dangriga excited.
Yeah, so that was our idea, but we had some setbacks. We couldn't work on it. But next year, definitely we're gonna have that.
You can celebrate culture anytime, my brother. You could try to do it next week. That's all right.
But we're talking about Christmas.
Yeah, you
That's
can do
what
that
we're
too.
talking about,
Christmas
right?
it.
And you know, I know that when this time comes around, there are traditional desserts that people have, and then there's some of us that are just looking for new ideas.
Indeed.
Right?
So, we know that you've got stuff on here. We've got our gloves on at this time, so it simply means that we're gonna get down and dirty.
What are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
Well, I wanted to do something simple, but one of my favorite desserts. It's like an apple pie. Well, I do an apple tart instead. But yesterday, Shanice asked me to make something easy now that people could do at home. So what I went ahead is just go to the local supermarket and just buy stuff that you can find and make at home, no?
Marlene, he just said he wanted to do something just simple.
Well, he did it for us. I don't know if you were here the last time. He did his version of Black Forest and then our version that we could try at home.
That's not simple. All right, so let's get on into it, my brother. What do we have?
So we have, we start off with the base, and then if you could The custard.
This one?
No.
The yellow one. You didn't eat custard as a child?
Yes, but I don't see it long time, Lord.
So we have custard, and then we have the brand there.
So this is, so you could just make the ready-made custard.
Yeah, so we have that. So what we're going to do is we're going to snip off a little piece.
Okay, so snip that.
And we're going to put it to the base so we can stick our tart.
I love that they think I know what I'm doing.
You know it, Amara. I know that you know what you're doing.
That's it?
All right.
Stop?
Yeah.
Stop?
Okay, cool.
So we have our ready-made base. So you just buy this.
So that's a ready-made dough?
Yeah. You could
Okay.
just buy that. And then you could take off more from this now.
Okay. So this is
And just
an
fill up.
apple.
Yeah. It's an apple tart, but I try to use more than just apples now. So you have
The whole thing?
Yeah, you could use the whole thing.
She know what she did.
You sure?
Yeah.
Feel like you're done, Joe. Yeah, but. Okay.
No, because I see them do this, they like twist it around. All right.
All right.
And I
looks
love
good.
custard, so
yeah, me too.
you know,
It
I
look
could
good.
put more.
So now we have our apples.
Okay.
Here
And
we
again,
go.
this is apple from the can.
It's that
From the can.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's our ingredients so far.
Cool.
Custard,
Yeah,
ready-made pie shell.
So all we have to do
is just put that on.
is just layer it around.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So John, you can help us too.
All right then. So let's
Just
layer
remember the
up.
camera's
Let's
in
layer
front
up.
of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, is it very sweet?
It's a bit sweet, yeah, because the canned apples they
They're
have it
sweet.
in their own syrup now.
Okay.
Oh.
So
we have. Okay. Here we go. Oh, God.
And you said this is your favorite dessert?
it's one of my favorite. I like the taste of caramelized apples.
John is struggling.
Yes.
Now, I know this is our version at home, but clearly yours wouldn't be the same, right?
She said simple.
Uh-huh.
It's not simple.
Because you can't grab the apple?
Yeah.
That's why it's not
No,
simple?
it's complicated.
Okay. So tell us about other ideas for Christmas desserts while John and I try to. You should see his face.
Well, we have.
I think we're the master.
I know.
Uh-huh.
We have cakes like the carrot cake, which is one of our most popular cakes.
Mhm.
The Black Forest. We're working on a ginger mousse cake with a ginger compote, and then a cinnamon sponge cake, which will be one of our Christmas.
Cinnamon sponge cake. Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we have our individuals, which are like the small little versions, and we're trying to work on gingerbread mans. So it's gonna be the same recipe as the larger cake, but just for one person now. In case you don't want the whole cake, you could just get a smaller version.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So I think we're done. I don't know if we overdid it with the apple.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, that's
Okay.
perfect because it's an apple pie, no?
Good.
So,
So this is what we're looking at so far, right?
Yeah.
So move it up.
Sorry.
yeah. So that's basically
it?
Yeah.
Oh, easy.
It just has the
That's
custard.
the whole tart?
Yeah, that's the whole pie. Yeah.
Party done.
That is as. Do you bake it?
No, well, everything's already pre-made now, so it's something easy, quick to do at home.
But you said we could buy this.
Yeah, you could buy
We'll
that.
buy these and we could buy it. Well, the custard.
The custard you make it.
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
quick.
That's quick and
And you
easy.
just fill that into the center,
Yeah.
and bam, you have a fancy dessert right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so this is your homemade version.
Yeah.
And I still know how to bake
You know what?
pies.
We're gonna put it this way.
All right, now let's show us
Look
how
like you
this
bite
is
it. Look
really
like you bite
done.
it off them. All right. Look like you bite it.
That's what happened.
All right. So.
All right. Next thing. Next thing.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Now.
I guess we could take this off
Yeah,
now.
we were no
All
good
right.
at this. so let's see how it's really done.
We
What
have
do
a
you need?
pastry cream now.
Cream.
All
Yeah.
right.
So
There you go.
this is our pastry cream. It's
Okay.
like a custard also, but we make it from scratch.
Mhm.
So the same thing again. Take some.
So that's to the bottom to kind of hold it in
Yeah,
place.
just to hold it in place. And we have our tart. It's an almond sablé.
Careful with the edges, right? Just saying.
So we have the almond sablé.
Uh-huh.
And the same thing again. We're just gonna start from the bottom. And it doesn't really matter how, because at the end of the day, nah, you won't really see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But from here, we could just use one of.
Spread it around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the name of this one?
It's an apple tart.
What's your favorite Christmas sweet? Like, what do you have around Christmas that's like your most favorite thing to have? Is it black cake, white cake? You know?
White cake.
No, I don't mean only between black and white.
Black
We
and
make all
white cake.
kinds of things.
I love the cookies. I
cookies.
love the cookies. So cookies and white cake.
Yeah. I know,
You hear what
right?
Shanice is doing?
So what's your favorite, Shanice?
No.
Black fruit cake.
No, not black fruit cake. Not my
What's
thing.
your favorite, Einar, growing up?
Growing up, I think just the regular white cake.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Good. You know what? Wait. Some regular white cake, but the pan with the white cake, the butter, that you can't beat that. Right? So I'm not boring again. Thanks, Shanice.
So
And now as you're an adult, it's still the same?
Still the same.
Okay.
So which one?
We have the pastry cream in, so now we're gonna use the black cherry gel.
This.
That we,
All right, so here we go. Black
cherry
cherry
gel.
gel.
I don't know if
His one would be so much fancier.
I know.
I don't know if you want to go ahead and just put dots all around.
You really trust me to do this? Like just dots?
Yeah, you could put just bigger dots, man.
Oh, bigger dots?
Yeah, just everywhere so that
Oh, you're gonna swirl it?
Doesn't matter how we put it because it's.
I know it's not gonna look like one of your productions if you leave me to do it, you know. That's what we're talking about.
Hey, Mar, that looks good, man. That looks good. Really, I love it.
So you could put all around.
All
like
around.
everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere, yeah.
Like finish it.
Yeah.
Okay. Mar, that look good. Yeah. There you go.
Little mini explosion there.
So what happens is that the black cherry puree, it's a little bit sour and tart, so it counterbalances the sugar of all the apple now.
Okay.
So it's not just a rush of sugar.
Okay.
It has different components.
I'm pretty sure this is not how yours would look.
Yes, yeah, I would actually do the same.
I'm not just to tell you that.
I know. You're being so kind, right?
All right.
You know, I was
good.
like,
Looks
you
good.
missed that
Yeah,
spot, you
yeah,
missed
yeah.
that spot. And then I'm very particular, so I feel like I see
Different
that
places,
need to
yeah.
be- Alright, I stop.
All right.
I stop.
Perfect. So now
Alright.
we have an almond, caramelized almonds.
Okay.
So what this does is just add a little bit of texture inside.
Ooh.
Whoa, looks good.
Look at her.
Right. So now we have our apples cooked two ways. We have apple puree, and then we have
What
the
do you mean?
caramelized.
What is that apple puree? How
So
do you
what
make
we
this?
do, we cook it down in sugar for like half an hour up to an hour, and we just very, very slow, and we just break it down, break it down.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we cook it with a little bit of cinnamon, and then that one is the same process, but we don't cook it as long.
Okay.
So that
So
it
it's a
just
bit firmer.
Yeah, it maintains its shape. So what we're gonna do here, first we're gonna go with the puree.
Okay. Oy. Oy. Looks good.
I don't know if you want to spread it out.
All right, John, you try that one. That look
got it,
harder.
I got
You
it,
do
I
it.
I got it.
So you spread it all around it.
Okay.
You're mixing up everything.
I know, but I mean, you know.
It's supposed to layer on top.
All right. I think this.
You could try hit all the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
missed
put some
all these
Oh, lad, Mar.
A little bit more.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect. All right. All right. Swirl it. So, oh God. Oh God. Stop laughing. Stop laughing.
And John's greatest challenge for today will be
Swirling a pie thing.
You got it.
All right.
Yeah, so this puree we cook it down with a little bit of cinnamon, so you have a little bit more flavor.
that Christmassy flavor. Like cinnamon and Christmas just goes together.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You hear the word? He said perfect. Or you were just saying that about the cinnamon and sugar.
We know Einer's one will look like this. We know that.
So, and then if we finish similar to the last one, we're just gonna top it off with our apples. And it does, like these edges, we could just cover it with.
Oh, like yeah, we need our mount over
Yeah. Yeah, we're here.
Let's try to, give John a better impression here.
Nice.
So what's some other desserts that you're making? I mean, you said you're doing orders for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last year, a lot of people ordered the carrot cake. I think that's the most amount of carrot cake I've ever seen in my life. So.
You doing that again?
Yeah, we do that. Well, every day we do that. Yeah. It's It's a very nice cake. It's not too sweet.
Okay.
And it's very well balanced with all the nutmeg and the cinnamon that we use.
And what are the price points if we are able to talk that?
The small one, which is a 6x6, goes for 50. Then we have the medium one, which is a 12x6 for 90. And then we have the large, which is a 12x9 for 125.
Cool.
Yeah. Then we also work with one of our friends. Her name is, well, we used to call her Petunia on the go, but now she has the eatery in Belmopan. She produces her own rompopo, so what we do with her rompopo, we use it for our cheesecakes.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it's just a special cheesecake that we have just for this time of the year.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't do black cakes?
No, I don't. I leave that to the professionals.
Which is the grandmas and the mas, right?
Yeah, nothing could beat their one.
Yeah.
All right.
We have that.
So that's what we have
I
here.
know we're not done because there are 2 more containers you didn't use, right?
Yeah, well, that's the finish off. We just have some
to
more
top it
almond.
off. Yeah. Look at that. Fancy. Fancy. Look at that.
And that's the same almond?
Yeah, the same almonds, yeah. Just top it off.
With a bit of gold in them?
Yeah, it has a little bit of gold, this one. And then the last thing that we top it off with is a gold sheet.
It's edible gold.
Yes. Ooh, look at that.
No, all right.
So this is our version of a.
And then what do we have? Yeah, what's
so
that?
there's this website.
Well, this is just a glaze, just a neutral glaze that we make, just to brush up the apple itself. So you give it like a little shine to the whole dessert.
Cool. Who would know?
Yeah, so I don't know if you.
Did not know that.
I had no idea. No clue, no clue.
Yeah.
So whenever you take our pictures, the gloss of this neutral gel that we use, you make it a little bit brighter.
So there you go. All right.
All right.
I heard of it.
So most people, do you use Pinterest?
A bit.
You're a content creator on Pinterest, right? So there's this thing called Pinterest fail. So this is what you see on Pinterest, and this is your Pinterest fail. But
oh my
it is
goodness.
Beautiful. Look at that. Who's got it here? Over
this
here.
Is nice.
Right. So
this
that's a bit of what Einer's won. I don't want to hold it too high because I will. And this is courtesy me and John.
Put me in that
good, right? Yeah, I know you wouldn't give us a hack like this if it didn't taste good.
Oh my goodness. So I know if folks would like to get to you to make some orders, what do they have to do?
We're on Facebook, Blue by Einer Marin, Instagram, blue.einermarin. And then hopefully we open back the bakery.
Yes.
In next week.
Okay.
Hopefully or in 2 weeks time.
Okay.
But before Christmas we're gonna try to open. Definitely gonna be back. And yeah. Well,
what can we find at Blue every day?
Well, what we work on is our croissants. We have our plain croissants, then we have our luxury croissants, which we have the strawberry cheesecake, the lemon pie, and the chocolate lover croissant. We have donuts. I actually brought some donuts today.
Yeah. You weren't supposed to tell him. They're mine.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it.
Go ahead, they're donuts.
We have our individuals. We have like 10 to 12 different individuals. We have our textures of chocolate, our $1 Million Brownie, cookies and cream, our opera, mojito, carrot cake, Black Forest, and all those. So everything is individually sized for one person in case you don't want to buy the whole cake. No?
Yeah.
So
all right.
That's what we have.
Well. Mara, yes, that's the site. Yes, you'll trip on the site there.
Now I'm looking at our delicious pie that I can't wait to taste.
Me too. It was nice having you in, my brother. It's that time of the morning where we eat these pies. Thank you so very much for joining us this morning, and congratulations once again on your successes.
And I do want to take a moment though, because I know yesterday in the story they said your dad is your mentor.
Yeah, well,
tell us about that.
Yeah, tell us about that indeed.
My dad, he's an retired public servant.
Okay.
So he has a lot of experience, you know. He guides us a lot, you know, the team, and he's always talking to us, you know. And well, he's not afraid to tell us what we're doing wrong, no. And at times I don't like to listen, right, because I think it's good, and then everything goes bad. So I should listen. But he has a lot of experience. He has good advice. My mom too. But they really helped me to see where I could capitalize on, what I should change, what I should do, and just being better, no? And that's what we try to do every day, and he tries to hold the quality up high because we don't want to go down from there.
Of course.
Us up, no? So that's what he does. So.
Okay.
Well, I thought
So
that
he's the
was sweet.
foundation of your support, your mom and dad.
Yeah, my mom and dad.
Excellent. All right. Einar, thank you so very much for joining us, my brother, and wishing you all the very best and continued support.
Thank you. My sister told me to shout her
Oh,
out,
well,
so.
you know what?
What's sister's name? Let's get this right. We didn't say mom and dad's name either.
Sassel, and then since I big up my sister, I big up my brother. He's in Tampa right now studying.
Okay.
So, those two guys, and then my staff, you know. Without them, I wouldn't be here now.
Yeah, that's true.
So those guys are great, and I appreciate everybody who supports us now.
Well, we appreciate you trying to recreate your own creations with store-bought stuff, because I know he looks at it like,
read my thing.
But for those of us who will probably never be able to create something like this, we're happy to know we can make this at home.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
You're here already hesitate, right?
No, same thing.
All right, well, thank you once again for coming in. We appreciate it, and season's greetings.
Thank you.
All right. So we're going to take the break. When we come back, we'll be wrapping things up. It was a wonderful Thursday morning. We'll be right back.
It's a fact that your credit lasts longer when using Smart. During these times, we're all trying to find ways to cut costs and save the little resources we have. With Smart, it's easy to do that. It's a fact that with Smart, your credit lasts longer. You can call Smart to Smart and Smart to Digi using your promo credit, while with the other guy, you can only call OnNet, Digi, or BTL numbers. What does this mean? You get to call any national number using your promo credit. Your promo credit is free, so that call is also free. Know your facts. Don't be tricked by the other guy. Be smart and save your dollars.
This holiday season, gift your home the ultimate digital experience with NextGen. New and existing customers can take advantage of our holiday promotion on any of our affordable service plans. Sign up or bundle cable TV and internet and receive free service installation or reconnection and 1 month free of any acquired service. Don't forget, HBO Max is now available to NextGen bundled customers with 40 megabytes internet or higher. Get a chance to enter our grand holiday raffle when you update your account at any of our branch locations. Our raffle will be drawn live on our Facebook page on December 24th. For more information, contact us at 0800 222 5388 or message us on Facebook or WhatsApp at 662-6365. NextGen, the preferred service provider for the ultimate digital experience. Easier ways to connect, create, and share.
The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
And we're back. Sharing baking stories and disasters.
It's always great to have those, great stories and great camaraderie especially with Einar and his crew. But it was a great time, Marlene. We had a great time.
And if you're just tuning in, we had a bake-off, and here we go.
Here we go. But you know, one of the things that we did in the bake-off, we made the old switcheroo, you know? Yeah, we made the old switcheroo.
No.
So what you're seeing here is actually mine. What you're seeing here is Marlene's.
And that's nobody believing you, right? That's the silence. All right, but it's been a fun show. We want to thank everyone who came in today.
Thank you so very much. Indeed, without you, this is not possible. You know, you actually wake up, open your eyes, and start your morning right here with us. If you've got any questions, any concerns at all, you could drop us a line at oye@channel5believe.com.
You can also find us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BC and on Instagram at OYEBelieve. Remember to tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30.
When you open your eyes,
to start your morning right.
As per usual, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your heart open. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.